Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to IDEC Product Series webinar. My name is Brian Lee. I'm the product manager for IDEC switches, LED indicators, and a SAC-like product. I hope everybody and your families are all doing well, and thank you for spending time with us today. Today's webinar, we're going to do a IDEC switch overview. We'll walk through different sizes of switches, functionality, and the features. We'll also see some special switches that are probably less known, but are very useful in my view. We'll also review some LED indicators and the SAC-like products. And we have a lot to cover, so I'm just going to move forward. So IDEC is a switches company, and we have a long history, over 70 years of history making industrial control switches. And the switches include a lot of types. There are very common push buttons. We also have the select switches and the key switches. Also, we have the pilot lights and the buzzers as a part of the switch family. The switches, there's a lot of different sizes we offer, and according to the panel cut sizes, from 8mm 10 all the way 22mm industry to 30mm heavy-duty rug design. Also, we offer different shapes, round, square, and also in some series of switches we offer rectangular switches. In terms of the switches, and they can achieve different status. Some of them are momentary. There's the most common. And also there are maintained version of switches. And including select switches, we have a spring return. That's a type of a momentary switch. And also a lot of switches and the select switches, push buttons, including color lights, and we have illumination provided in different colors, 6 standard colors to offer. And in terms of illumination, we also offer full voltage from 6 volts, 12, 24, all the way to 240 AC. Those are the full voltage. But also we offer transformers to couple with the switches. Some customers, they prefer to use transformers to step down whatever the AC voltage, 110, 120, or 240 down to 6 volts as a low voltage device for safer kind of application, even in maintenance situation. And then we have all these push buttons, pilot lights, and including nameplates. We provide engraving services right here in Sanibel, California. So here are just a few kind of categories we want to talk about in IDEC switches. The strengths in IDEC switches would include that they are, first of all, they designed for industrial applications. They're rugged, they're very reliable, very good quality. And also we have the switches, they have a global approvals, including UL in North America, CUL covers Canada, and Europe, we have the TUV, CE, and in China, we have the CCC. We arrange all these, maybe hundreds of thousands. I got probably over 90,000 SKUs to manage. Over these amount of switches, we arrange them into different fields. We're going to talk about later. We also have different constructions of the switches. Some of them, they are unibody, tend to have a small footprint. And some of them are modularized design. So they provide more flexibility, and then you can mix match different contact blocks to get the configuration you want. And also the modular design helps more flexible mounting of the switches. And then we tend to have our switches on the shelf, or at least with the components right here again in California, so that we can provide shorter lead time to our customers. We do assemblies in California, so if it's a less common configuration, we can also do that and turn around in a pretty short lead time. we're very competitive in terms of the pricing. And if you have opportunity to work with our field sales engineers, and according to situation, we can be very competitive. And IDEC is also very innovative, and we constantly adding new technologies, new products to the lineup of our switch families. I'll give you a couple of examples. One we're going to see later is we're now adding push-in terminals to our switches, relays, and a PLC product. And also another example is we have a safe brake action, which is a very unique safety feature in our e-stop. This is where the only manufacturer in the world provides this safety feature to make our switches to become the safest in the world. And as I mentioned, our switches have very good quality, and our customers are happy with the product quality. We have so many series, we'll see later. So this is a chart. I put them on a grid so that we can differentiate between series. Gonna be a tool to help our customers to quickly identify which series of the switches would fit in best into the application. So here you can see on the bottom, from the operation load perspective, from light duty, 3 amp to heavy duty on the right-hand side, up to 10 amp of loading. And vertical, that's the size of the switch. Again, panel cut size, 16 to 30. The lower left corner tends to be light duty, small size. And to the right on the chart is more industrial classic heavy duty switches. And it's interesting, you can see the CW is in the middle. CW has the 300 volt, 10 amp rating. However, the bezel is a flash mount bezel. So it's a very unique product. One side is industrial grade, but also it has a very thick, very nice, appealing appearance on the front. We're going to see that more later slide. I said that we tried to arrange thousands, ocean of the switches from IDEC into a meaningful kind of a series. So this is an example that we put that onto our switch selection, quick selection guide. We arranged the switches for different sizes, and also it listed the major features and the functions of the switches, like push buttons, illuminated push buttons, pilot lights, select switches. And by the way, we have this selection guide in a PDF and also in hard copy. I'm going to switch to the PDF file of this selection guide, so maybe it provides a better resolution here. So this is a 2-page selection guide. As I mentioned, the first page is all the switches from small to big, different functions, some very key ratings and the key features listed at the bottom, contact rating and approvals and so on. And also, I want to mention, we're not going to focus on the e-stop, but the selection guide on the second page is listing all our e-stop products. And that's, again, different sizes, series, functions, and including some of the accessories like the shrouds and so on and so forth. And this is a very good quick selection guide to help you to identify which series of the switches for e-stop would fit into your application. Say if you have a design a panel, say I'm going to use illuminated push buttons, some pilot lights, and some select switches, and a buzzer. And you can quickly identify which series of switches would fulfill all these requirements. And the reason to stick with the one series of the switches on your design, when you design a panel, is they will provide a consistent look, and the appearance would be much nicer instead of using, a group of switches coming from different manufacturers, different sizes, different style, different bezel heights, and so on and so forth. So this makes the choose the switches from one family, make the panel much more organized. So enough about this quick selection guide. I'm going to switch back to my slideshow here. So next a few slides, we're going to quickly talk about some switches, individual series from this small size from 8, 10, 12. These are very straightforward unibody switches. Some of them illuminated, some are pilot only. They fit into typically small control panels or small appliances because of the limited maybe space on the panel. So that's one of the major reasons customers would choose to use small switches. We have AP series, different series, different sizes to address the application. This is straightforward. Next one is, this is about more classic, more industrial switches, including our HW, TW, and TWND series. All these are designed for industrial applications. So they are capable of carrying 10 amp current rating. They have a lot of different options to choose from. For example, the HW is our go-to series. So it provides all kinds of switches, push buttons, select switches, key switches, and mono levers, so on and so forth. Among these three industrial switches, one thing is very important. They share the common contact block. So we have a common contact block, which is HW, UF contact block. They step onto three different operators from these three different series of switches. So you don't need to have different contact blocks to maybe purchase and to shelve them. You just deal with one pair of contact blocks. That's going to fit into three different series. And some of our customers really like this kind of arrangement because it's less complicated. And sometimes they have in their facility, they use both sizes of switches. So they only need to stock up one type of contact block. So some customers commented that it's a dream come true. So this is a different arrangement of those three series of switches. I put them into different ruggedness, increased from left to right. From left, we have plastic bezel, normal HW series 22 millimeter. Then we have metal bezel in HW. If that's not enough, then you can choose our TW 22 millimeter that has a octagonal metal locking ring front. So that increases the ruggedness of the switch and it can withstand the heavy impact, things like that. And if that is not enough, and you can consider our TWND series, which is 30 millimeters, but even more rugged design. It has not only a octagonal locking nut or bezel front, the operator and the thread of the which also is die cast, so it's a metal operator as well. And also, you can look at a couple of examples here. These switches, you can choose the flush button that will have all the push buttons protected by the heavy gauge locking nut up front. So this is, again, to be more rugged design and withstand more impact, maybe harsher applications. This is a slide that summarizes, as I mentioned, one pair of contact blocks addresses three different series of industrial switches. And if you are a customer that who used our switches that with the old contact blocks, this is a slide that to show all the old different kinds of contact blocks are unified into the new pair of HWUF contact blocks. this is what makes, again, some of the maintenance and the stocking kind of a lot easier. I just want to mention a couple of features in this universal contact block, HWUF. It's a 600-volt isolation and a 10-amp rating. They are snap-on contact blocks, so there's no screws to tighten. These are very durable snap-on features. If not, some customer had the concern, say, oh, these are snap-ons. Will that be sort of a knock the loose and easy to get loosened if it's a vibration application? They're not. A very reliable design, snap onto the back of the operator, and it's a very well designed. They have captive spring-up screws. So you don't need to sort of open up the screw before you do the wiring. So the screws are springed up already, so you just insert the wire, start it tied down immediately to save labor costs. There are IV20 finger safe. The screw size is 3.5 millimeters, and they are stackable. So if you have a switch that you needed to use more than two, and you can stack up the switches. We can support up to 6, total 3 layers of contact blocks. So that's a lot of contact blocks, and you can configure them. Different colors to show normally open, normally closed, and also the pushing rod. You can see also they have a different colors, red or green, to show the different type of contact. Again, we have global approvals on the, getting the UL, the TOV, and so on and so forth. So if you design, manufacture equipment here in the U.S., then you can rest assured that if you ship it to Asia, to Europe, and we still get those switches and approved. Next one I mentioned early on that we're adding new technologies to our switches. Push-in is to be announced later this month. This is the product that adds labor-saving features that makes the wiring safer and saves cost and very easy to use. So we call it SQ Connect. That's the technology. It's simple to use, and it's safe for wiring, and it's smart to save labor costs. So we're going to see a video later on to get more illustration on that. It's going to be a sneak peek of the push-in switches because we haven't officially launched the product here in North America. So we'll watch the video and we'll see the benefits and the features. All right. All right. So we're coming back to my slideshow here. So as I mentioned, we're going to have HW and a CW series, which is available with the push-in terminal technology first, and the HW will coming up very soon. And we have a couple of relay sockets already released, and again, the relay socket with the push-in will save a lot of labor effort and save a lot of the cost when wiring panels, things like that. All right, so that's push-in technology. And the next few slides, I'm going to share with you very typical applications with our switches. The first one is electric bus charging station. So you can see at the bottom photo here, we have a couple of the switches mounted down the front, and we offered a few products, switch products in this charging station, including HW and a 30 millimeter E-stop XM series. This is a bus charging station. Next one is a very typical sewer or wastewater treatment facility. This is on the top, you can see this is a very typical control panel that with our HW series, which is mounted in front. I can see here the highlights, a few select switches, and the push buttons, the E-stop, things like that. And this is indoor, that's the top corner image. And also you can see the bottom, we have outdoor applications for those control panels as well. This application actually is a total solution. We not only provided the HW switches, but we also provided our automation solutions, including PLC, touchscreen, relays, and power supply. So probably 80–90% of the devices involved in this solution probably coming from IDEC. Next application is bucket truck lift. This is very typical. We see, maybe communication companies or even for street light application, they use the truck lift. And here you can see that we have a TWE stop and a mushroom switch is used to control the vehicle. Maybe control the lift going up and down. Next one, I'd like to discuss a trend in recent couple of years that in flush mount switches. In the last couple of years, we see a trend started from Europe. And, customers, they start to use more and more flush mount switches to lighten up the control panels, make them less industrial look, make them more appliance kind of a look, gives a much maybe user-friendly appearance to end users, to operators. Flush mount switches, that's one of the reasons that it becomes more and more popular. The other reason is we see a lot of heavy lifting kind of a control now is done by more powered devices like VFDs, maybe other contactors, and so on. So you don't really need heavy duty 10 amp or even higher current rating devices to do controls. So really controls start to fall into low voltage controls, and so that gives us the opportunity to use light duty switches and then make it lower the cost, use less panel space, and also enough to do all the controls necessary, and also make the panels much better, well organized, and more appealing appearance, so on and so forth. So this is a trend that's coming. So we see also in US, this is starting to pick up. And IDEC offers a lot of flash mount switches, different sizes. And we're going to spend a few minutes just to kind of show what offers in the flash mount switches IDEC has. So 16 to 22, 30 millimeters piezo switches. For piezo switches, I want to spend maybe 1 minute here. I don't know how many people in the audience are familiar with piezo switches. Piezo switch is a kind of solid state switch. There's no moving part. Everything is sealed in a stainless steel canister, little bushing. And the versions that you see at the bottom of this bottom corner, there are 4 styles of the piezo switches we have. Because they are completely sealed, they have the IP rating 868 and 69K. So these, you can use that for very harsh environments that requires power wash down applications. A kind of, if you had application you had a trouble with using switches because of maybe the leak, cannot deal with the corrosion, things like that. The piezo could be a good replacement for that. Because of the good IP rating, and you can use it in applications we have found in dairy applications that deal with, sticky milk and those things like that. Bakery, mechanical switches tend to be gummed up, jammed because of the sticky flour. And also we found in food processing, because we require power washdown, on-site cleaning, so on and so forth. So those are a few typical applications good for piezo switches. So for the rest of this switch, I'm going to focus on LB/LBW. Again, we have lots of choices, lots of functions, features to choose from. LB/LBW, basically they are sort of a brother series. They share the same contact block, 5 amp, but the operator size, LB/W, is the bigger. And the panel cut size also is 22 millimeters versus 16 or 18 millimeters. Again, the flush mount, 2 millimeter above panel, very slick look. And also for LB/LBW, it's very short. So you have a shallow panel, that this is a good choice for the application. Again, lots of varieties to choose from. Color-wise, illumination-wise, we have window illumination. Also, we have ring illumination. That adds a variety to that. We have different size, different shapes. Again, we have square and also with a typical round shape. Also, bottom right corner you see here, we provide guards. They add additional protection for accidental actuation. So a lot of accessories to choose from. And also for LB/LBW, they have a modular design. The contact blocks, they are detachable. So this provides flexibility and for wiring, because you can have the wiring done prefabricated. So you don't need to do on-site sort of a connection, wiring, after the switch is mounted. You can do it beforehand. Then you just install the harness with the contact blocks attached. Then you have it attached back to the operator. Again, this is we try to provide the feature as a way to reduce wiring effort, reduce wiring labor. Another example of reducing wiring labor is you see on screen, right bottom right corner, that you can see that this is a sort of a group mount technique. We have all the contact blocks prefabricated on a PCB, and if you see there's 2 rows of pins, this is designed for a connector. So you can basically connectorize a group of the switches and to do group mounting altogether to save labors, also to make it the connection a lot reliable, so you don't need to kind of make mistakes and everything, the connection has been laid out in the connection, in the connector as well. So if you are interested in this, you can contact us and we can help you to take your requirements, and we identify the switches you need, and we can basically work with a PCB manufacturer to do all the designs, layouts, and have the PCB manufactured for us. So feel free to contact you if you have an application you're interested in this type of application. Some applications for the flash mount and LBLBW. Again, it's a flash mount. It's less possible to have the contaminants, the flour, dust accumulated. It's good for wipe clean. If you use some cloth or something, it's easy to wipe off. So it's a good product which is to fit into medical, food processing, and semiconductor applications. And also because it's not like a standard bezel, it's a flush mount, so it's less likely to get caught by clothes, when you walk close by, even in the semiconductor, people wearing bunny suits and cleaning room gowns like that, it's less likely to interfere with the operation of the switch. So again, busy, heavy traffic area like trains and vehicles, this could be good application. Other applications including stylish design, smooth operation, as mentioned before. Here are a couple of examples to show you some good-looking machines, also robotic applications. Couple of a more real case. This is a customer in the machine tool business. They use our LBW switches, and we did some customization, provided engraving, or in this case is film, to provide a different symbols for operational application. And this is a very durable switch, and the customer used a lot of them. This is one of the leading machine tool manufacturers in Europe. Next one is, this is actually it's a Toyota. They use our LBW, have a customized PCB design for the application. This is for robotic application, collaborating robots. This slide shows a few special switches I'd like to share with you. They're less known, but in my opinion, they're very useful depending on the application. IDEC tends to combine features into customers and make the customers adding more value for our customers. A couple of examples here. That one is dual push button. You see some of our competitors, they have dual push buttons as well. And we also have a dual push button, which is an interlock version, meaning you can only push one button at a time. If you push one down, then the other one you cannot push. So kind of interlock version of a dual push button. We have a push button selector. So this is a kind of a combo of a select switch with a push button. So depending on the position of the select switch and when you push the button, it will have different functions. So this is again like a 2-in-1 kind of a combo product. We have a key switches. Key switches sounds normal, but there's a lot of features to that. And couple of things I want to mention is one is for key, I want a user to have increased security, enhance the security in their key. So we try to make our keys hard to duplicate. We use wave keys, we use disk tumblers in keys. It's very difficult to duplicate. And also, among those keys, that we have a lot of varieties to choose from. We have maintained version. We have the spring return, as I mentioned. You can choose from spring return from right, from left, or from both sides, and so on. And also, depending on the functions that the designer engineer want to implement, we have the key switches with different key removal positions. So one example I want to give you is if you go to grocery shopping at the cashier checkout point, they have a post machine. Sometimes you see they have to call their supervisor to overwrite something or to cancel something. Then the supervisor comes and they use a key to turn the key and also does his or her operation and cancels or corrects whatever the charge. And that's the key switch application. And it's very common. And the different key removal positions would allow different features. Some of them, for example, in the cashier supervisor situation, and you cannot remove the key at the supervisor position. You have to return back to the normal operation mode. Then the key can be pulled out. Then the supervisor can walk away to do other things. So this is just an example that I showed here on the right-hand side. We have different key removal positions to provide different kind of a security or control, just beyond electrical control. So this is a kind of a different operation mode that you want to choose from. Also, we talked about guards before. This is again a lot of accessories to choose from. We also have buzzers and illuminated buzzers. And talking about illuminated buzzers, I'd like to introduce you a couple of illuminated buzzers we have. It's called HW1Z. Two colors, red or yellow, and we have intermittent or continuous buzzer. This buzzer already has the push-in terminal, so it's very easy to use. And this is a welcomed product. A lot of customers like that because, again, it's the two products in one, the buzzer and the illumination. Literally, at the customers, they switched from two devices, a buzzer and a pilot light, and started to use our HW1Z product. And they like a lot because it saves the wiring effort and also it saves the real estate on the control panel. A couple more products I want to mention here. We don't have a lot of time to go through the details, but we do have surface mount LED indicators. So these are not for panel mount. So you don't drill a big hole, 22 millimeter 30, that to let the body of the pilot light to go through. This is the bottom left corner. These are the surface mount. So you use maybe you can mount it on a wall, on a fence. There's no panel. This is that kind of application. We do have the LX field, which is that kind of application. Also, I want to mention we have our LD6A backlight, which is a very well-designed product. It has a lot of mounting methods available. We have a pole mount, a direct mount, wall mount with the angle, and so on. So basically, all kind of mounting methods that we have designed. There are two different colors. This one is showing the black one. We also have a white version of the LD6A lighthouse. On top of the center, you can see we have AP22, which is pilot light. This is a super bright, and it's a sunlight readable, super bright LED. And for outdoor applications, this is a good product to use. Last but not least, I want to mention that we also have a series of switch enclosures available. These are very popular enclosures because they are very affordable. They only at this moment is only 22mm hole size, 1 to 5 positions you can do. They have a fairly screw, so it's not going to rust. Kind of difficult for open up for maintenance purpose. And you can see there's one of the boxes, P boxes. You can see the knockout hole on the top, so it's very easy to knock it out and put a gland connector to do the wiring. We also have a yellow version that's designed for e-stop application. The boxes are made from polycarbonate, but they are IP65 and Type 4S rated. We also have the UL ratings on that. So a couple of kind of support and additional tools for you to take advantage. So one is the selection guide. If you want a copy of the PDF and even a hard copy, you can send an email. I want to show my email down the last page. And, you can send an email, we can respond and send that back, the email back, the PDF back to you. We have a catalog, we can provide that too. Others, you can check along, of course, online catalog and our website as well. Yeah, so additional resources that you can have. You have tech support, 1-800 number, support.idec.com, and also my email address, very easy to remember, LLEE @idec.com. I think that's it. That's all the slides I have, and I hope you picked up with one or two things from the webinar. And again, let me see if anybody has questions here. Okay, there are a few questions. Let me go through. Does IDEC sell the pin connector? I'm not sure pin connector if this is for the ferrules. We will have ferrules available. We may not have sort of because we're just provided the ferrules as the accessory. We will have the ferrules, different sizes. We may not have all the varieties, including different colors, leaves of the ferrules, but we will have the ferrules available. Next question, are the switches only rated for use with the ferrules? No. The ferrules just as a tool. Let's say if the wire is, as I said, it's too soft and it's not stiff enough, then it's better to use a ferrule to make the wiring easier. But if the wire itself is stiff enough, you don't have to use a ferrule. You can just strip it and insert directly into the pushing terminal. So you don't have to. You can use, let's say if it's a solid wire, you can just strip and stick it in. And if it's a thick multi-strand, stranded wires, if it's stiff enough, again, you can do that. One detail I didn't mention that is the ferrule, the pushing terminal. We have a funnel kind of a shape design at the entry point. So it's going to help the insertion of the strand of the wire, even if it without the assembly. Next question, does the push-in tug technology require special pin connectors? I already answered that question. It depends. It doesn't have to use the ferrule. It depends on the thickness of the wire. I think that's all the questions I've got. Thank you very much, everybody. And again, stay safe, and hopefully that we'll be able to lead each other one way or the other. Thank you very much for spending time with us today.